Get it all out now.
My little sickly little angel baby there.
I'm not feeling so hot today.
Not feeling the greatest.
Pushing through though.
Yeah. We're here. It's Friday, February 28th. I feel like it's important now to kind of include the date of which we record so that way like there's so much shit happening in the world and like
Yeah, because things change daily.
every day there's something new to talk about, and
Yeah.
this one is happening on Friday, February 28th.
Last day of February.
Yeah, short month, but no matter what, I feel like life is just getting longer and harder.
Really?
I do.
That makes me kind of sad.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I enjoy my time with you, but like I would be lying if I said I wasn't struggling a little bit mentally with don't make those eyes. Let me turn my phone off. That was just a little message there. Shiny object. Let's rewind.
Reel it in.
Reel it back in. Yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say like it's hard with everything going on in the world today. It is really hard to show up every day to work and give my all and not say a word about anything that's going on and just get in line and keep going through the motions. It's wearing me down.
Yeah.
It's wearing me down, and I have to ask like or just say like I know I'm not the only one. Like I know there's others out there that are feeling this way. Like you're showing up to work, you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're giving your all, and then you're taking in all of the bullshit that's happening in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think you've been due for a vacation for a long time now. I will say that, put that out there. But I think that it's everybody. I don't think that it's just people that work either. I think it's just everybody, especially people that are in certain communities that are being targeted right now.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. So what are we talking? You're staring at me. It's like I don't know. I'm getting bashful. Like what are we talking about? I did open mic last night.
Is that Kirby can't look at me when they sing on stage
Because
they can't make eye contact with me, and I'm okay with it, but I'm a little conflicted about it at the same time because it makes me a little bit sad because like, you know, I want you to be able to like sing to me, like sing right and like stare into my eyes and sing to me, but at the same time, I'm like
weirdo.
If that doesn't make me weird.
No, but I think I'm going to open mic to allow myself to get more comfortable again being in front of people on stage, and it'll come with time. You know, it's like been my third open mic. I've been, I think, right now the third one that I've done so far.
This is only the second one I've been to.
And I feel like I'm getting a little bit. I was nervous last night. I was feeling a little unsociable, and that happens when I've been, you know, working all day and talking to people and interacting with people. Then I kind of pull back, and I'm not as bubbly as I could be, chatty.
But I think that you did great, and the one piece of feedback that I gave you was, well, I had told you that it looked like you were more comfortable up there, so whatever you did, you hit it well, but you could tell you didn't want to talk. You were just like from one song to the next, just like rolling through.
Yeah.
So that was, but I picked up on that because I know.
Do you want to know why I didn't talk? Because I feel like the things that I want to say right now, I'm not sure how
people would take
it because I want to talk and discuss the real fucking situation that's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
especially
all of it.
When you have a stage and a moment to do that.
And like a lot of my songs kind of, you know, are pieces of my journey, and I could tie things in to just everything in my life right now. And I don't know. So there was a part of me that was like, you know what? I'm not trying to, you know, you get 10 minutes on stage, and that's in the back of your head too, is like, don't drag on too long and then like, you know, blow through your song and not really have that moment. So I was not on my soapbox.
You did not.
They have a rule. No soapboxing.
That's their only rule.
So don't give them a reason to make more rules.
Yeah. There were a lot of poets last night though that I thought that was really cool. Eventually I'm going to get the cojones to go up there and do that.
You're going to be great. I think I'm going to do just strictly poetry next time as well, and I hope that encourages you to also join in and read some, because I think we both love writing, and why not? Why not share it?
Yeah. I would definitely read my poetry before I would sing.
Yeah.
So that'll be step 1.
Okay.
We'll just baby step it.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get you there. My knee was shaking last night. When I first started, it started shaking uncontrollably, and I was like, they're going to know. They're all going to know that I have imposter syndrome right now and that I want to crawl in a hole and just play my guitar like in the dark and not have
With
anybody
nobody watching.
and not have anybody looking at me. And it was a brand new guitar, so it sounds a little bit different. And I absolutely love the guitar that you got me, and I'm getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds, like I said, it sounds different, but really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in my head, like I was like, am I tuned right? Am I this? Am I that? Does it sound okay? Like overthinking.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Got to relax a little bit.
Yeah. So back to the question, what are we talking about today?
We're going to dive into our most recent kind of recurring topic from outside people reaching out to us about my consultation for top surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And we've obviously been talking, I've been discussing and kind of allowing myself to share even just my thoughts and ideas around top surgery, and now moving into a consultation and putting that video out on TikTok. And
it opened the door for lots of different people's questions, opinions, all of the things.
mm-hmm.
I'd venture to say that like 90% of the feedback has been positive.
Oh, absolutely.
You've had so
absolutely.
much support.
Mm-hmm.
But then there have been like a small percentage of people
Mm-hmm.
that have had their opinions that maybe didn't,
Yeah.
you know, walk hand in hand with yours. But I feel like you've been handling that really well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you feel like I'm handling it well, because
I know you don't feel the same, but
it's, it's new. It's new to have, well, first of all, it's very vulnerable to share any type of surgery. Just imagine if you were like, hey guys, I'm really excited about getting this hemorrhoid removed off my ass because I just don't like the way it feels on me anymore. And then people were like, oh my God, I knew you were gonna do that, but like you're gonna have a scar, and like have you thought about this and that, and like are you gonna have to sit on one of those donuts, and like how much time are you gonna have to take off work once you get that hemorrhoid removed? Like that's, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel. I know you're fucking laughing right now, but it's a little like, I know I'm putting it out there publicly. I'm putting it out there, and the reason why I'm putting it out there is because other people that shared their journey of their top surgery have helped me get to where I am today by having sharing their story and bringing light to it, and that, visibility that doesn't exist everywhere. And today, with our voices kind of being shut down and we're being silenced, I think it's even more important to openly share it. So I can't get upset when people come back with questions, because that is part of educating people, bringing them up to speed, helping them learn, and allowing someone to see that like it is okay. Whether I want to get a double mastectomy, or you want to get a hemorrhoid removed off your ass, or you want to get breast implants, or you want to get a nose job, or you want to get a facelift or Botox or whatever it is, like that's your choice.
Yeah, I think it's interesting the way that people take in the different types of surgeries and like act like they're different when really they're not. That's the part from like as where I'm standing as like your person who's I'm really truthfully just on the sidelines just watching the whole thing go down. That's one part of the whole thing that I'm like, I guess I just don't understand that concept, because like you had said, I've personally known people who have gone out and gotten implants and like shown me and been like, you want to touch them? They're so great. They're so beautiful.
That is like a common scene in movies. Like, go ahead, touch them. I paid a lot for them.
And most people are like, wow, you look amazing. That's so great. I'm so happy for you. But then when when it's flipped and it's like, I don't actually like these, I'm going to get rid of them, people are like, what
the fuck is wrong for you? Yeah, I tried to explain this the other day when texting you, and I was like, it reminds me of this debate back and forth. I liked Kirby with long hair. Kirby looks like they're more comfortable in their short hair. And it's like the idea of people saying, like, especially men telling women they can't cut their hair because they like it long. It makes me feel like someone's like, you can't remove your breast because then it's not appealing to other people. But if you enlarge them, then it's still appealing to other people. You're attractive and you're this and you're that. But if you remove them, you're a fucking freak. That's what I feel like people think.
Yeah. I think it all goes back to the idea that has been painted for us for so many years of what women are supposed to look like. Movies, magazines. I mean, look at every single provocative magazine that has ever been published. You don't see women without chests in those magazines. They all have either very large or very large fake boobs in those magazines. And so it's like this idea that gets put in your head from a very young age, even down to like Disney movies. The princesses are not overweight. They're not hairy. They're the perfect
Right.
version of what a female should look like. So unfortunately, we're all raised in a way of that's how we're supposed to look, and it's sad. And so I think it causes adult men specifically, but adult people's brains to have this tiny little idea of what like you should look like, and if you're outside of that tiny little idea, you're different, and that's weird.
Yeah, you're not like the others. Why are you not like the others? And, you know, even in today's age, like, there are women who are not, it's not even because of any kind of gender dysphoria. It's because, like, maybe they carry a breast cancer gene and they're like, I'm going to get these removed to live longer, to be able to have children, to do this, to do that. There is a movement with it. But I feel like that kind of like, not the movement that bothers me, the fact that someone, if I was in a room and I had my shirt off and I have top surgery completed and my scars are there, and if I just pretend for a minute, if I was just like, yeah, you know, I have breast cancer gene in my family, I carry it, and I didn't want to take a risk, people would be like, you're a hero. You're a fucking hero. Like, good for you. Like, yes.
There'd be like instant sympathy from people. Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Then, other side, I sit back and say, yeah, I
didn't like them.
didn't like them. I haven't liked them since they started forming on my body. I've made the decision for myself that this is the best version of myself, is to not have them. People have a hard time. They have, for whatever reason, they have a hard time accepting that. And yeah, so, you know, kind of moving past, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to go back to the statement that I made when I said that I'm proud of how you've been handling the people that have a hard time accepting that. Most recently, you took it upon yourself to reach out to a family member and let them know kind of where your head is at when it comes to feedback from other people that maybe are not aligned with your decisions. And I thought that that was really brave of you, because like from my history with my family, when there have been things that I didn't necessarily agree with, it's very hard to be vulnerable and say like, this is what I need you to do for me to protect my mental state, my well-being. Like, that's a brave thing to do. And you did it.
It is brave, but I'll tell you, again, full transparency, it's so necessary for me to be and I feel like I don't want to get too emotional over it, but I feel like it comes down to crushing my existence even more. The want to exist when you feel like people just will never accept you. And right now, the state of mind I am in, I would be lying if I said I'm 100% like the strongest mental capacity that I have, like, it's teetering right now. And in order for me to protect my mental health, yes, the person we're talking about, I had to open up to my mom. I love my mom to death. She is one of my biggest supporters, other than you and Tommy and, you know, my kids. Like, my mom is a big supporter for me. Now, my mom is almost 70 years old, and there have been a lot of teachings that I've had to kind of share with her, like, Mom, don't say this, or don't, try it this way, or whatever, just bringing her up to speed with things, right? And she's trying so hard, and I love her dearly for that. But she
And she
also
meant no
she
harm
meant no
either.
harm,
She doesn't ever mean
but
any
she's
harm.
sharing comments that certain family members are saying based on the video of me talking about my excitement of getting top surgery. um People are now in my family having conversations behind my back, really not including me in any of them, and having their conversations, and then they're being shared with me. And yeah, I have to, if I want to be in a very clear mental state and be healthy, I have to I have to speak up. I
Mhm.
can't expect people to know. And I don't want to have dark thoughts and struggles and wake up in the middle of the night and hear the noise. I
Mhm.
don't want that.
Well, that's one thing that I've said for a while, is that you do have to learn how to quiet the noise around you.
Mhm.
And it's not always easy to do, but it is possible. You just have to have very strong boundaries and be loud about
Yeah.
them.
And so I was able to quickly, I thought, do I reach out to these family members? Do I have a conversation? Is it worth my time? Or is it not any of my business? Because honestly, like, what people think about me is not my business. It's not my responsibility. It's not my business. So I went ahead and blocked the two people from my social platforms, because I need community, love, and support. And number one, I need compassion. Even if you cannot comprehend what my journey is about, I still need compassion. If you're not able to reach out to me directly, if you have questions and give me the benefit of the doubt to explain my reasoning for it, no, you don't get to be in my safe circle. And so after blocking the two family members, I then wrote to my mom. And I didn't do it in a text.
Mm-mm.
Did it in a new little way with her. I did the notes app, and we're sharing kind of like a journal note app back and forth, and it was titled "What I Need from You." And I went on to explain things that I need in order to keep a um, safe and healthy mindset right now during my journey, and during this time where the world is filled with hate um, for a lot of people, but for the queer community, for the trans community, non-binary, all of it,
Mhm.
people of color, all of it. Um,
And your mom was extremely receptive to it.
yeah, she was,
I was
and
very proud of how she responded and was so communicative back with you.
yeah. So, yeah, it's and she said she even realized, she was like, afterwards I thought about it and I probably shouldn't have told you.
Mhm.
And there was a piece of me again that said, like, I'm glad that I know, because now I can have stronger boundaries.
Mhm.
Now I can understand that there are pieces of me and gut feelings that I have where I'm like, I kind of feel still uncomfortable around these people. I don't know if they truly accept me, and I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And then it's like, there's your true colors. You
Mhm.
showed me. So
Mhm.
now I can have a little bit stronger boundary. I can protect my mental health, and I can surround myself with people that truly are cheering me on from the sidelines, and not having conversations amongst themselves about something that's personal, because both of the people that had something to say have had breast implants, have had plastic surgery, have had tummy tucks, have scars from their surgery. The
Mhm.
things that they're worried about are exactly identical to the surgeries that they've allowed, gender affirming care for themselves.
Mhm.
So, um, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we can't level set and see that we're all equals here, whether you're um, making something larger or reducing something. We're all equals, man. We are all equals, and I've never once taken my shirt off completely bare in front of any family member. So the fact that somebody's so worried about what's under my shirt um, is
Yeah,
insane to me.
I think the biggest and most important thing to remember is that everybody's body is their own and it's their own choice.
Yep.
And like I've said, the one person that sees you shirtless is sitting right here, and I still am able to say it's your body and your choice.
Yep.
So that's just something that some people will never understand, and that's okay. They can deal with that in their own ways.
There was another recurring comment that I've recognized in person and online is when people say, I always knew they were going to transition.
Well, I think that there's this like idea that just because someone does something like remove their breasts automatically means they are transitioning, or automatically means they are going to start taking hormone therapy replacement and all of the things. And like it's kind of frustrating for me because that's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, continue.
Yeah, it is. It's frustrating. And then again,
They don't go hand in hand.
But I have to find helpful ways. I know it's not my job. It's nobody's job, but I strive to find helpful ways to educate people and to understand, because like there was a time and place where I knew nothing about being a non-binary person. I only understood tomboy, right? That's what I was. I was like this tomboy. And like as a non-binary person, there are so many layers, and it does fall under the trans umbrella. And so there is a transition happening. Yes, there is. But I think it's this idea, it's a very buzzy word for people right now. Yeah, that's all you hear. It's just like such a small percent of people are trans too, and it's like this buzzy word right now in the media where everybody's so fucking hyper focused on like what bathroom people are using, what sports they're playing, and this and that, and like removing people from the military, for God's sakes. Like it's insane. And then you hear someone say like, I always knew they were going to transition, and it's like, I don't even like when people say like, I always knew you were gay, because then it kind of makes me feel like, well, what the fuck was wrong with me? Why did you know and I didn't know? And it's like this battle in my mind. And I don't know if I'm not saying it's wrong for people to say it. I just feel like, what value does it bring to say that you knew something before the next person or before myself?
Yeah, well, and I just think it's inaccurate oftentimes. People can think that they know things, doesn't necessarily mean that it's true.
Yeah.
Because all of those people saying that they always knew, but they didn't, because you're not transitioning, so they really didn't know shit. But okay. I mean,
Well,
I know some people mean well when they say certain things, but I do think there's like lines that can be crossed, and people are very quick to cross them when you make yourself vulnerable, and I don't like it.
yeah.
Makes me get very defensive.
But then it's like, at some point, as I continue to share my journey, as I get closer to going through with this, as I recover from surgery and start to feel comfortable showing, myself without a shirt on, possibly so other people can see my healing process or how I'm doing with things, I think, similar to how I follow certain people who are strictly, there's one creator that I follow that is she, her, and removed head top surgery. They're not transitioning at all. They still identify as a woman. They just didn't like having breasts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most recently that has been one of my biggest creators that have influenced me to see that, yes, you can remove something and not have to replace it with some type of hormone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I plan on doing. I plan on removing my breast. I like to say chest. I really don't feel the greatest when I say, I don't like, it's kind of icky to me. I don't know why, but like I'm going to remove I'm going to remove my chest, and I'm going to be me, and I'm going to continue being me.
Well, and I made a video recently talking about kind of like where I'm at with the whole thing, and like from my perspective, and towards the end of the video I said something about like, really, you as a whole, your chest is like a tiny teeny weeny little physical part of who you are. Like, there's so many more levels and layers to who you are that this is just, I used the word minute because it's fucking tiny. That's a tiny little bitty piece of you. And if that tiny little bitty piece of you is that important to someone else, then they are very surface level people who can't see past physical appearance.
I honestly like, and it's going back to like when I was like giving the reference of like, you should have long hair because you're a woman. Don't cut your hair short, and until you're like in your 60s. And then it's like, I see like 60-year-old women out there with like the same haircut of me. And I'm like, nobody's being mean to them. They're rocking their fucking fade too. But you have this, you're fucked either way. You can be extremely struggling with being overweight, okay? And lose a bunch of weight. And when you have that weight on you, people will say horrible things to you to put you down because of your weight struggles. When you lose that weight, then they continue to say horrible things to you as if, you had it, medically sucked out, or you didn't do enough exercise, or you're unhealthy, or you must be,
you must have an eating disorder.
You must have an eating disorder, or to the idea of like, I've always had to remind certain people not to do this, like with any of my kids and my family, like, don't, like, when you finally see us, don't be like, oh my God, you look so good, you've lost weight. Like, skinny doesn't equal fucking happiness, right? And it's the same thing with your breasts. Like, having them or not having them. When I had them and I had them out open in public and I was nursing my babies, I was told to put them the fuck away and like not to have them out or show them, and put a blanket over my baby's head and cover up. And I worked at a place where there wasn't even a mother's station to pump, and told by my boss at the time to go in the bathroom stall and pump my milk. And so, yes, we've come, like, I don't know if that's going to go away with old Donald doing everything, but like, hopefully, like, the nursing stations and mothers rooms stay in place. But it wasn't that long ago where mothers were frantically going back to work to have a career, and trying to pump enough milk for their babies. And when they're feeding them and trying to bond with them, it's like, make sure you love them and you spend all the time and you make the eye contact, but don't you show a fucking nipple in public, because God forbid somebody knows that was made to feed somebody. And then you're just like, damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, is the point I'm trying to make. It's like, I can have some nice titties out in the open and I'm going to be told to put them away. I can completely cut them off and I can be told I'm a fucking freak to put my shirt back on. It doesn't fucking matter. People are mean and shitty, and don't, like, it takes 2 seconds to be nice. And if you don't like it, just turn your fucking head. I can't tell you how many man titties I've seen at a fucking beach, and I've never said anything. I've never been like, go shave your fucking back and put a top on because I don't want to see your titties out. I get heated. I'm just like, make it make fucking sense. I get fucking heated. It's just like, who's to say that, like, whatever is under my shirt makes me anything?
Well, it's just like whatever's in other people's pants doesn't make them anything. Yeah, it's something that everybody should learn. I don't know. But it's never going to happen. So I think you just have to be brave enough to do what you need to do for yourself. And like I said, silence all of the noise around you, set your boundaries, stay in the right mindset, and know that no matter what, no matter whose opinions you hear, no matter whose support you have and whose support you don't have, you're doing it for one person, and that's you.
Yep.
You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for
anyone
anyone
else. And when I think for
else.
myself and I say what I want, and I express my gender the way I want to express it, I am the happiest. And you even said it yourself. You see a light in me that you haven't seen before when I'm talking about my excitement for my going to my consultation to learn more about the process of getting closer to having top surgery.
Yeah, there's a passion behind it. And I've seen a lot of things that other people haven't seen. I've been the one who had those conversations with you in bed at 10 o'clock at night when it's like, this is a fresh new conversation that we've never had before, and first time I've ever heard about it. And then, for the last year plus, talking about those backs and forths and those feelings, and all of the different stages of this consideration that you've been in, I've been right here next to you through the whole thing. So like, yeah, it's different when you're able to be like on the inside and be able to watch it all front row.
Yep. Well, thank you for being like there for me through it, because it is like, I will say there are moments of like lately, like waking up in the middle of the night and kind of like a gasp of like anxiety hits my chest of, oh my God, what if, what if like I feel so much more like myself and I'm so happy, and then it's just this constant like negative response from everybody. And I know it's not, again, it's not my business, it's not my responsibility to care what other people think of me, but I also am the type of person, and I'm learning to work through it, like I want people to like me too. I want to be.
Everybody wants people to like them. I think one thing that I've learned in life is that you can't, and I know this is hard because I do it myself. I'm doing it right now about this meeting that I have in an hour. But you can't stress out and tear yourself up about things that have not happened yet. So this idea of like, well, what if, or this could, or they might, you just like, that is so unhealthy to do. And we all do it, and it's like almost impossible to never do it. But in big situations like this, where you have a lot of time before anything is ever going to happen, right?
Mhm.
So like, you can't sit and think about all of the, well, once I go through all of this and then I get to this position, this might happen and I don't know about how that I would take that. Just like putting all of that aside and saying, okay, this is the bridge that's in front of me right now. That's the bridge I'm going to cross. And then all of the bridges after, I'll cross those once it's time.
I 100% agree with that. I think the hardest struggle for me is when you have been a person who has it doesn't matter how much, but somewhere in your mind you have gender dysphoria. And I think the biggest fear that I've had to work through with coming to where I am today of making the appointment for the consultation is that the fear of, oh my God, what if I remove them and I hate myself even more, and then I really don't want to live. That has been the scariest piece of it. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying for me to protect my mental health, I only need positive feedback and love and compassion, because my fear of, oh my God, what if they're all right? You know, I don't want to fall in a black hole. It was very similar to when I was coming out um, as a lesbian, non-binary lesbian, and I was like, I had just taken on a new job, and there was a piece of me that was like, I don't have time to make this big change and come out and take on everybody's oh my God, are you getting divorced? What are you doing? What's next? How is this working? Take on all of the extra along with like just being real to myself and coming out. My fear was like, holy shit, like what if I don't make it out? What if I don't make it out alive, because I'm just going to flip everybody's world upside down and destroy them. And I had to work through that, and I had to overcome those feelings and know that there are going to be people that leave my life, but there are going to be new people that come in, and my chosen family, and there's going to still be people from my past that love me for who I am today. And I think it's a similar feeling of when you decide to take control and say, I want to do this, my body, my choice. And now you have to cancel out the noise and say, it's okay. Like, it's okay if it takes me a while to take my shirt off in public. It's okay if I'm never comfortable taking my shirt off in public. It's okay if my surgery doesn't look like the person's surgery standing next to me, and I have to work through all of those feelings. And I think to kind of sum it all up is like the biggest thing I'm asking for is just love and support. I don't need all of the other noise. I really don't, unless it's helpful and you're going to say, have a pillow on the drive home, or a certain pill, double mastectomy pillow to sleep with, or ways of like, advice. If you've had the surgery, that's super helpful. But just like a random opinion of, oh my God, you're going to have scars.
Mhm.
I got a lot of scars. Like, okay, I'm okay with scars. I'm okay with tattoos. I'm okay with stretch marks.
Hope so, because I got a lot of those.
I love every single one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be here the whole time. And I hope nobody's mean to you in person, because I'm not a very nice person when I'm angry.
Well, and I hope
It's
that
hard to be protective on the internet, but it's not hard to be protective in person. So just watch out.
I just hope that you know, my transparency, my authenticity, and my vulnerability, I hope with that little combination of a recipe that I'm putting out there with the type of content when I do share my journey, I hope that it helps the next person. And I hope if you're listening, maybe this helps you in another situation. Maybe it's not top surgery, but maybe it is weight loss, or maybe it is some type of gender affirming care. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think there's just a lot of different layers that it could be helpful for. I mean, even down to like the video I made yesterday as your partner being like on that end of it. There's so many people whose partners have had the surgery or want to get the surgery. And I mean, like they're like, we have feelings and thoughts too. So like all of the different angles of it, I think that it's just being vulnerable and sharing your story. And it's a really hard, but really brave thing to do.
Yeah. And I'll continue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's hard, because I'm picking my hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's something beautiful on the other side of it. So I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.